From Fox 55 Sports, this is The Locker Room.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Alongside my partner, Peter Hood, my name is Justin Prince. We'd like to welcome you inside another edition of The Locker Room.
Late night edition of The Locker Room.
And postseason edition.
Yeah.
Pete, it certainly had its twists and turns, but the high school football regular season now behind us. It's officially win or go home time here in the Hoosier State.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks, certainly the two of us included, thought we would never make it to this point this year, but we're here. We're certainly fired up about it. So without further ado, let the IHSAA state tournament games begin. And we begin with the showdown in Class 4A, Sectional 19 Prince, as loaded as they come. East Noble, last year's 4A state runner-up, opening its postseason at home against 88 foe Columbia City. Knights got the better of the Eagles in the regular season. Not a whole lot changed tonight. East Noble led 28-0 at the half, keeping their foot on the gas in the third quarter. That's Nick Munson fighting for extra yardage. Later in the drive, it's Cole Schupbach to a wide-open Rowan Zolman. What a show this kid put on tonight, Prince. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovery on defense.
Players play.
That score puts the Knights up 35-0. And the defense was doing its thing as well. Jacob Van Gorder, Ethan Nichols combining on this tackle for loss as East Noble making a little bit of a statement tonight. 30, speaking of statements, check this out, right? Number 3. I mean, that right there is a statement in itself. 35-7, your final.
We're finally becoming fully healthy, and fully healthy is helping us a lot. We get our original position players back, and that's great.
We're a totally different team than we were mid-season when we played Leo and Penn, and you know, we've got some guys back on the field. We've got some guys in some different spots, and we're just playing our best football. Our goal from the beginning was to be playing our best right now, and we are.
Congrats to the Knights. So they move on to play the winner of this game, DEKALB hosting Angola. Hornets beat the Barons 55-18 back on August 21st, but DEKALB came to play tonight. Scoreless when we picked this one up early second quarter. Hornets looking to get on the board. Andre Tagliaferri picks up a nice chunk of yardage on the sweep play. Later in the drive, though, this was a theme in this game tonight. The DEKALB defense stands tall. Black jerseys swarming Tucker Hasselman. Evan Snyder leading the way. Angola forced to punt on the ensuing touch for DEKALB. This time it's the Hornet defense making a big play of their own. The diving INT by Ethan Miller gives the ball back to Angola.
Andy Thomas about leaped out of his shoes there on the sideline.
Yeah, he did. But they just couldn't get anything going offensively tonight. DEKALB, they pull off the upset, 7-0, the shutout there.
There's always some surprises in the postseason. Other side of the bracket in Sectional 19, Leo visiting Northridge. This is one of the best games in the state, regardless of class. Picking up third quarter, Lions down a touchdown. Coach Sauter pulling out the bag of tricks, the reverse to Ryland Crawford. He gets the edge and gets in for 6. Leo ties things at 7. Then in the fourth, same score. How about that push up front? Tanner Jackson sneaking his way in. Leo takes the lead, and that's your final. We knew it'd be low scoring, 14-7. Lions advance. And also in 4A, Sectional 19, final score from that sectional, Northwood beats Wawasee 20-7. Panthers advance in that sectional.
They'll face Leo next week, I believe. Other side of that bracket, Wayne hosting Huntington North in Sectional 20 action. Vikings up 8-6 in the third and driving. 4th down, 8 in Dennis. Will not be denied. Dragging dudes for the first down inside the 10. A few plays later, though, 4th down once again. Reed Johnson looking for the end zone. He's picked by Christian Flanagan. This dude came up big tonight. Generals defense holds pat, and that would be big. In the 4th down for the Generals. Christian Trimble flushed, hurls one downfield, and guess who?
I'm going to guess Flanagan.
Mr. Flanagan.
Since you alluded to him earlier in the highlights.
He gets into the end zone. He had 2 picks and that touchdown. Wayne goes up 12-8. That's your final. Generals advance with the 12-8 victory.
Other side of the bracket in Sectional 20, Southside hosting New Haven. Wait, no. This is
First, we got a scoreboard for you. Delta, they're
got ahead of myself.
They top Jay County 48-0, so it's going to be Wayne Delta next week.
And here we go.
Now we go.
Other side of the bracket, sectional 20, Southside hosting New Haven. Dogs got the ball first in this one, and they bully their way down the field. Jarrell Jackson just refusing to go down, running through tacklers, carrying defenders for the first down. He's still gone. Finally brought down, and then later in the drive, it's 4th down for New Haven. Looking for it all, Jakar Williams connecting with Mylan Graham. That's a touchdown. Looks like this thing's going to be all New Haven early on, 6-0 Bulldogs, but like we said, there's always surprises in the postseason.
Every year.
Later in the first, Southside, Matthew Morris plowing his way inside the 5, ruled down at the 1, and on the next play, Roosevelt Northfleet sneaks his way in. And how about the Archers, Prince? They pull the upset on New Haven, 30-20. Your final, they'll face Marion next week.
Staying in Class 3A, Sectional 26, Garrett opening postseason play at home against the JIMTOWN Jimmies, one of my favorite nicknames. Scoreless when we pick it up in the first quarter. First possession of the game for JIMTOWN. Some miscommunication here between quarterback and receiver that leads to an INT for Zach Warfield.
And quarterback threw the fade, and I think the receiver ran a hitch route.
He zigged when he should have zagged. Yeah, gives Garrett great field position, but on the ensuing drive, Jimmy's defense holds. Aiden Lytle keeps it himself, but Jeantu Reed there to make the play on 3rd down for JIMTOWN. Railroaders have to settle for a field goal, and from 39 yards out, number 39 splits the uprights. Zach Klopfenstein gives Garrett the early lead, but they wouldn't score again after that. JIMTOWN, they go on to win this one 26-3.
You love the confidence with the McGregor walk, though.
And JIMTOWN moves on to face West Noble. West Noble picks up their second win of the season, topping Glenn 14-0.
How about those Chargers? On the other side of the bracket, Mishawaka-Marion, the heavy favorite in this sectional. They opening things up tonight against Lakeland at home, and the Knights wasting no time in this one. First drive, Maddox Bogunya Bright. It's name. Greg Atkinson. What a name, what a play. Greg Atkinson, 31 yards to the end zone. Mishawaka-Marion goes up 7-0. They were far from done. Next offensive possession, this one 53 yards from Jason Johnson. Knights all night. I mean, they were all over Lakeland in this one. 40-6, your final. And they move on to play Tippecanoe Valley next week. 49-22. The Vikings get the win over South Bend, Washington. If there's a team that maybe could compete with Marion in that sectional, could be Tippecanoe Valley. Maybe.
Class 3A, Sectional 27, a tough season for Belmont. Comes to a close with a 28-0 loss to Oak Hill. Oak Hill moves on to face Concordia, who got a bye because Peru was shut down due to COVID.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah. Time for a break, though. Don't go anywhere. We've still got plenty more highlights to get to, including a big-time clash between one-loss teams in Class 2A. Highlights and reaction from Bluffton versus Eastside, and much, much more coming up next.
From Fox 55 Sports, this is The Locker Room.
Welcome back inside the locker room. Well, Pete, we've already seen classes 4A and 3A, no 5A and 6A this week. So that means all that's left are 1A and 2A.
And on that note, we start with a good one. Could have easily been our game of the week here. You got 8-1 in NECC Small Division champ Eastside visiting another 8-1 team in Bluffton. We take you down to Park Field. Pick this one. This thing was tied at 7 in the second quarter, but Eastside starting to separate at that point. Laban Davis forced from the pocket, and this is how you know it's your night.
Yeah.
He overthrows his receiver, but Wade Miller right there to make the grab. Touchdown, Blazers. They take a 13-7 lead into halftime, and I said that's where they start to separate. The third quarter is really where they started to separate. 19-7 when Davis gets in from 1 yard out. That puts the Blazers up by 19. Later in the quarter, Bluffton on off. Oh, there's those overalls, man. Gotta love those things. Bluffton trying to get something going here, but Hayden Nern picked off by Briar Munsey, and that would lead to this on the ensuing drive for Eastside. It is Miller time once again, Jay Prince. Davis to Miller, about as good as you can get there. Eastside, they roll 40-7. Again, Bluffton was 8-1. That's pretty impressive. They're on to the sectional semis, where they will take on. Actually, no, we got a shot.
We came out a little slow, but really just we came out second half, executed like we should have. First half was It was a little rough, but we came out and got the dub, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's really important that we keep playing at the level we know we play, especially since Coach says that, we can do it, and we can, obviously, but it's just up to us, each down, each play.
I'm just jumping the gun all over the place tonight. It's late, past my bedtime. As I was saying, Eastside moves on to play Prairie Heights, who beats Woodland tonight 18-8, the final, and we'll have Love Eastside versus Prairie Heights next week.
We will. Other side of the bracket, Bishop Lures hosting Whitco down at Lures Field tonight. Pick things up late first quarter. All Lures already adding to it. Yes, sir. Sir Hill, good luck catching him. 46 yards to the crib. Lures up 21. Second quarter now, same score. Fourth down for Lures. Carson Clark looking for more than just the first down. Finds Brody Glenn in the end zone from 21 yards out. It's 28-0, and then just before half, how about one more for good measure? This time it's Devon Dowdy. He gets in from a couple yards out. Lures takes a 35-0 lead to half. They cruise to the 56-7 win.
Final stop in sectional 35 comes at Fairfield Falcons. Looking to keep their perfect season intact, taking on Central Noble. Nice start. Corey Lance keeps it himself. Gets a nice push up front from the big fellas. They pick up the first down. And then later in the drive, Lance takes it in from 1 yard out. Fairfield goes in front 6-0. You see him go for two. They make it, and they win this game easily, 38-12. They'll host Lures next week.
Final stop in 2A, sectional 34. Wabash playing Manchester a visit. Apaches won a week 3 matchup in this one, 44-29. Squires, though, striking first tonight. First quarter, Seth Garrity takes the bubble screen, makes a guy miss, and, well, there he goes. Untouched to the end zone for 6. Manchester up 6. Later in the quarter, Wabash looking to answer. Joe Leland escapes some pressure some way, somehow, and he finds Bryant Boggs, and you gotta see this one to almost believe it. I count 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, maybe 3. He's into the end zone.
Not gonna like watching that one on film. The Manchester coaching staff
ties things at 6. They win 16-12. They'll face Bremen next week in the sectional semis.
On to Class 1A, probably the favorite in the state. South Adams sectional 43 hosting Union City. And Union City, again, they're taking on the favorites in Class 1A, and this one was just not a fair fight. Second play of the game, James Arnold hitting Drew Stutzman over the top. 77 yards later, it is 7-0 South Adams, and they can play some defense too, Prince. First drive for UC. Honestly, not sure what their mascot is. Oh, the Indians. The Indians. We've been told it's the Indians. The Starfire defense all over the Indians there. They get the ball back on downs, and they get right back to work. This time it's Arnold finding Timmy Davidson in the back corner of the end zone. Another South Adams score. They cruise in this one 41-0. They'll face, could be interesting next week, Monroe Central next Friday night.
Moving on to sectional 44, Triton hosting Churubusco tonight. This a defensive showing if you're into that. Eagles clamping down in the first quarter. Ethan Hilly stuffs the Trojans behind the line. But towards the end of the quarter, Triton gets a drive going. Hunter McIntyre, nice gain on the toss sweep before being taken down for the first down. And then just a few plays later, he'll get the ball again, churn outside, and he's going to dive on in for the score. Triton wins tonight, ending Busco's season 24-14.
So they'll move on to face the winner of this matchup. Adams Central traveling to take on Fremont. Jets won 43-12 in the first game of the regular season. And they're back at it tonight. Blake Hirely rumbles in from a couple yards out. AC goes up 6. And then later in the first quarter, Fremont looking to respond. Cameron Colclaser, though, fumbles the exchange with his running back. You see Mason DeRue pick it up and run it back. Jets take a 12-0 lead. They cruise 39-6. And again, they'll host Triton next Friday.
Final stop of the night. Southwood taking on Northfield. Knights were originally shut down on Tuesday due to COVID-19. Game canceled. All players test negative, so it's back on, and Southwood showing no signs of rust. You saw the pick 6 from Elijah Sutton. Knights go up 14, and then a defense on the next possession, able to force the fumble. They get it right back and get to work on offense. Alex Farr with the keeper for the first down. No score there, but the offense and defense overwhelming the Norsemen. A lot of this on defense from the Knights. The stop here on 3rd and long. Southwood rolls once again, 36-0. Your final tonight.
And we'll wrap things up as we always do with our play of the night. And you saw it early on in this block. Laban Davis. I don't think it was intended for Wade Miller.
I don't think so either.
But I'm sure Laban will tell everybody that that's exactly who he meant to throw it to. And
it's like that Green Bay Packers play from a couple years ago when Aaron Rodgers rolled that way.
I don't remember the exact play. I'm not familiar with all the.
I'll show you afterwards.
You've got a much more vivid memory of Packers plays than I do, but.
Either way.
Pretty darn good there. Laban Davis to Wade Miller. Eastside rolls 42-7 over Bluffton. And they're going to be pretty tough to beat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, a lot of impressive performances tonight. What Southwood did, I mean, blows my mind. Northfield's a good team. To basically not practice all week, think your season's canceled, and then come back and win like that. Shout out to the Knights. Good for you guys.